Welcome back, my subscribers. In this video, I want to talk about and share with you why and what I have picked for my ultimate compact filmmaking videography video rig. Something that I could just take anywhere, not be in the way, not have people staring at me to see what am I carrying, why is this giant lens pointing at me or at this sunset. Just the least attention possible, the best quality that I've had in a while in such a small package, and why I picked it. Stick around. So I am a big fan of the Sony a7S III. You all know it as the low light monster. Sony did an amazing job with then later producing the FX3, which is just a monster for cinematic stuff. Has the fan, has the dual cards, it just has everything you could need. There are a couple features that I'm sure they'll probably add in the future with future versions of it, but for now, just 16:9 4K 60p 120p, it just gives you so much quality. S-Log 3, it's just like a very good package with the very trustworthy autofocus. And then we got the ZV-E1, which played on the same thing, same sensor, just in a much more stripped down package. And I think when this one first came out, I was very hesitant to even consider it because there were so many reviews talking about overheating. And over time, I think now that this thing has been out for a while, I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna try it out. A lot of people are still using it. There are tools within our reach for affordable price now to make this a reliable, longer use option. So I want to go through my rig and show you what I've put together, what those little accessories are to make this thing closer to an FX3. Obviously it's not going to be an FX3 equivalent or replacement, but it meets it halfway there, more than I think the a7S III in terms of compact size, but still getting you that same image quality. So let's take a look at this. I'm gonna walk you through it. So first of all, obviously you got the Sony ZV-E1. This camera, I mean, I have the a7C II, but when I opened the box to pull out the ZV-E1, I was mind blown. This thing is so compact. It is portable. Like, you could take this thing anywhere. It makes you feel like you should take it anywhere. I am way less overthinking if I should take it like outside to anywhere to record. So I was really impressed by the build. I was really impressed by the size and the compactness. Having a full frame sensor that is in the FX3 and the a7S III is just nuts. So then the second step was like, okay, so it looks small, I could take it anywhere. Is it built well? So to my surprise, I thought I was gonna get a much more plasticky vibe from this camera, but I am happy to say it feels dense. It feels pretty solid built. Obviously, I'm not gonna be throwing it around. I have to protect it. I take care of all my gear. But it feels just as good as this a7C II in terms of the density, the materials. I think there is some sort of weather sealing in it. I know they're not big on advertising that type of thing, but it's there. And then I'm like, it just became even more attractive the more I looked at it and felt how easy it is imagining taking this thing everywhere. So then I look at the camera, has an integrated microphone, which is great for backup or great for just getting an environment sound. If you're not doing like a lav mic or wireless mic or shotgun mic, you know, that sort of thing. Or B-roll, like I could still get some of that environmental sound. And it's I think it's a pretty decent microphone if you don't have a lot of noise going on in the background. Anyway, things just kept adding up for me and it just clicked. So then I was like, okay, how do I make this a little bit easier to hold? Because it's not that it's not easy to hold, but when you add a lens or if you add a mic, you know, for stability purposes, even with a lens, a camera strap, I think it could be sometimes a little bit too light or too small. So I ended up getting a half cage from Tilta, which is awesome because it helped me extend the grip a little bit. It helps me always have the quick release for my tripods on the bottom. And then I've also got half a cage. So the half a cage means I can mount it in different ways. I can attach different tools to it. I don't have to use the tripod or screw points just in one direction. So that alone beefed it up to a good enough size that makes me feel like I have like an FX3, halfway there FX3 camera that feels good in the hands. I've added this metal thing onto it, so it makes it a little bit more hefty. It has additional points of gripping, and this Tilta grip is real. This Tilta cage is really nice because it does have some indentations where you can naturally put your hands. And then it came with the top handle, and this top handle is one of the coolest handles I've had. It's a little finicky to remove and attach. Once you understand how it works, it's not that bad, but it's compact and it just makes it easy to hold. So it's so compact, even with a top handle. And of course, that's optional. I'm constantly removing it or adding it depending on what I'm doing. But it's so easy to take anywhere. So then I'm saying, like I said, this is minimalist. I can add the microphone, the ECM1, I think it's called, it's very awesome because it has multiple functions to isolate sound and focus on sounds with the noise cancellation and stuff like that. Low cut, it has all the functions you would want in a microphone. It's like many microphones in one. I removed the cage handle when I put that on there because I think it gets in the way, but I have to figure out a workaround on that. But once you combine that, you're just missing the lens and the ND filter. So I was looking around. I have quite a couple of options. Because Sony's been out for so long with mirrorless system, there are tons of compact lens options. And one of the most recent releases from a third party that really got me interested and hooked was TTArtisans 40mm f2, a natural vision focal length similar to our Vision, f2, plenty of separation in low light, knowing that this thing can shoot at 12,800 if I needed to, and it's less than 2 inches or about 2 inches long. So this thing on this camera, piece of cake to carry anywhere at f2. So I hope you've been enjoying all of the sample video clips that I've been showing you here. These, like I said at the beginning, were not meant to be like movie level. This is the everyday recording approach that I've been taking lately, and just wanting to have something that I can just use more often and not feel cumbersome. So I think this is meeting the marks on that side of the thing. Autofocus. I think the autofocus behaves decently. There are definitely settings that you can play with in the camera to decide if you want faster transitions or slower transitions. Is it the fastest autofocus lens? Definitely not. But I found that it does hold on to the subject well enough. And you know, pets are difficult to track, so that was one of my main subjects to test it on. I think this lens provides, I think, 80 to 90% of what an everyday videographer documenting their life, or just documenting memories, would want in such a compact package without having to feel like you're bringing over a couple pounds of camera gear. It's just such a well-performing little package. And one of the things that I mentioned at the beginning that will bridge this closer to an FX3 is adding that compact filter from Ulanzi, or you know, those other brands that are starting to make those. I haven't had heating issues. I did have a heating issue the very first time I used it, but that was because I didn't put the high tolerance setting. Ever since I've done that, I haven't had issues, and I've been able to record at 4K, 24 and 60 for over 10+ minutes. I usually don't do clips longer than that anyway. But if you want to take it a step further, that Ulanzi air fan is super compact, and the battery lasts pretty decent. You just flip out your screen because you're going to use your screen anyway to monitor, and that goes right behind on that box of your where the screen tucks in, and that will give you more peace of mind. Adding that filter, sorry, I keep saying filter, adding that air circulation that is not in this camera but is in the FX3 and other cameras. I think that is a great advantage and a workaround having to get, you know, the FX3 for so much more. I think it's crazy. It's double the price right now as a ZV-E1. So I hope you like this video. Let me know down below if this is a combination that you've tried or you've used before, maybe with a different lens. I'm definitely happy using this combination. The camera alone, I mean, I tried it with the 17 to 28 and I liked it just as much. 24 to 50. This camera just allows you to do such a compact rig, and this cage doesn't take too much space. You can remove the handle when you don't need it. It's just my favorite thing, not being obtrusive in my day-to-day life. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.